Hi, check. Mic check. Okay, I think that's a street sweeper. Hi guys, Amanda Henderson here with News 4 and Fox SA. If you're hearing my voice, that means you're watching our live stream, our web stream. We are driving around the coastline right now, just taking a look out here at Corpus Christi, what they're seeing and kind of what they're going through. Winds and rains have been pretty consistent throughout the morning. We're now getting another little patch of rain out here. It's definitely been a constant throughout the day. So we are going to be live here in a little bit on Fox SA. So if you guys are not tuned in, definitely head over to our channel if you can. We also have everything up to date on our websites as well. So news4sanantonio.com and foxsanantonio.com. So if you head over there, you'll get the very latest when it comes to weather, how this will impact San Antonio. And what you're seeing right now are just kind of the roads we're on. Just want to be clear, even if you see some water on these roads, they're not blocked off to us. We're not going to go behind any barricades. We're not trying to test the power of water and Mother Nature. But just from what I can see, we were even commenting on this a little bit earlier. Our photojournalist David Mendoza and I have been out here all morning, and we even said that we've seen water higher now than we did this morning, because it kind of receded a little bit. If you guys were with us this morning, it was probably ankle deep, maybe a little higher than that. Yeah. And then it receded. And now I feel like it's come back just from what we've seen from the car. Because the sidewalk, if you guys were tuning in this morning, the sidewalk that I was on is now water-wise basically like one with the waves, level-wise. And that grassy area is being taken over by the water as well. But as you can see, the roads up here on the main area of downtown for Corpus Christi, they're fine. They're drivable. People can still get to and from wherever they need to go today. They are able to also, make it there safely, which is the big thing, because of course, in any situation where there's a lot of rain and, the potential for any kind of storm surge, it's always a turn around, don't drown. I'm looking at those nice clouds out in the distance. Those look like storm clouds. So I won't be surprised if the rain you see on our dashboard here starts up again, but a little heavier than what it is right now. And the road we're going to be going down, I think, yeah. So the road we're going to go down right now, this is one that we have been going through since yesterday. And I will tell y'all that it's going to look like there's a lot of water on the road, but again, it's not blocked off. And driving through it earlier, we know that there is a safe path. We also know things can change. So before we go through it, we are going to evaluate it and kind of see if there's anyone else driving through to kind of get an idea of what they're going through. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments in our live stream below, so that way I can get to them as soon as possible. You can kind of see on the left hand side there some of the debris that has been left behind by the water. So you can see it's actually probably receded from the highest point it was at, but this is still high for us. We didn't see any real water on the roadways earlier. So yeah. Also, if you guys are hearing static at all throughout this, that means my microphone is off. Just trying to save some battery for whenever we are on air, but we only have one more hit, so I'm just kind of walking y'all through what we're seeing. So yeah, you can see it's pretty safe to get through this road right here, but we're gonna drive you guys by where that, where is it? The sidewalk over here on our left-hand side. That's where we were live. Oh yeah, you can see it maybe to your right here. This is obviously a little bit flooded. But again, this is all something that the city says they prepare for with every storm season. Okay, these are the clouds. These are the clouds I was talking about. These look like rain clouds. And if you guys were watching our last live hit, Brad Souter mentioned that we were a couple minutes out from getting a lot of rain. And I have a feeling that's what Brad was referring to. Okay, so there is the sidewalk that we were standing on a little earlier. You can see I would not be standing there now because it is kind of just one with that concrete barrier, and I am again not going to try and test the fate of and the power of Mother Nature and water. So yeah. Okay, we should be getting ready for our live hit here soon. So if you guys start hearing me talk, and it has nothing to do with what we're seeing, I'm talking to the people in our booth. That's why I have these nice little headphones. So let me see if there's any questions, and I'll go through those. Some people are asking if San Antonio is getting any rain. The answer, just from everything we have heard, is yes. And the reason San Antonio doesn't have rain right now is just because it's moving in from where we are. So as Brad has explained, it is going to be making its way there in the afternoon, like mid-afternoon, early afternoon hours. So the rain should be making its way there here shortly.
Yeah, the water's drastically receding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as you guys can see, the water here. Oh my gosh, that was a fish. That's a whole fish. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I was not prepared to see like a whole fish that you like, you know. Yeah, so this has been, honestly though, that was something that we saw a little earlier too, because we saw jellyfish being washed up and sea sponges. So that's the first though, like fish that I've seen washed up as a result of all the water. We're in the break before, so.
I'm gonna go right here.
Yeah, totally fine. Yeah, now we're getting some good rain. Hi, mic check, 1 2 1 2, check, mic check. Thank you. Okay, guys, for those of y'all listening on our stream, just hold tight. We are doing mic checks, just making sure everything is good before we do our live hit. So if there are any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will get to them after we are done. But we are back in show, so hold tight. Okay, we're on standby. Yeah, you definitely can. You know what's wild, Brad, is this is actually better than when we started driving around. But now I feel like it's starting to come back up as well, because we're starting to see more of the rain falling. It's been kind of a light, steady rain, but now it's kind of picked up a little bit. So that storm surge, as you can see, is just making its way over. We were standing, if you can believe it, there's a sidewalk in there. We were standing on a sidewalk very similar to this one all morning, and we tested it to make sure that it was going to be safe for us to be standing there. I wouldn't be standing there right now if we had to. You just see all the waves coming up, so we're actually gonna just take a little turn around because those waves are starting to get a little bit chippier than they were. No, they weren't. They weren't even there actually when we started driving I'm looking at our photojournalist, David Mendoza, who's driving our storm tracker. Those weren't even there when we started the drive down that particular road. So right now you can see more so of the rain and the wind. You see it blowing in those palm trees right there. That's kind of what we've been seeing all morning. Those very strong, very heavy winds that have been pushing in this storm system, no doubt. This being the first real tropical storm system that we've seen so far this year. I know it's something that we're going to watch it very closely, but at the same time, we also want to be sure that it's something that we're staying safe from. So as we're going up and down these roads, we're also just making sure, like, hey, okay, if there's water on it, are there cones? Obviously, we're not going to go behind the cones. And if there's not, how are things? And things have been fairly steady, but like we said, you can see all this water. We're even seeing things washed up onto the streets. We've seen jellyfish, sea sponges, and we actually just saw a fish. So a lot of stuff is getting washed up. Not quite. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okie dokie. I'm going to turn off this microphone so you guys are going to hear static, okay?